Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Mr. Sly in here, and what we are going to be talking about today is one thing I've always been talking about, and I don't know why we don't have enough men listening to Mr. Sly. I always say this. I say you have to be wary of ladies giving you free access to that confidence point, because most of the times that free access given to you is what would most probably land you in trouble. When I tell you sometimes, guys, I'm at the 8 p.m. at 8 p.m., I know what it is, because you see, the problems with the free conference point is that it might seem free to you now, but the way you are going to pay for it later in the long term is going to be very, very painful. Shout out to CJ on that. Now, today we have a Nigerian guy who got access to a lady for free. She gave it to him. She came to him, offered it to him. Premise on the story at hand. We're going to look at the story. And I'm not here to say whether he did it or not, but after the free access, she left the house. The next day, the lady and her siblings started accusing this guy of raping her. Yeah, it's a very sad, crazy one. Before we get to that, guys, give me a favor or do me a big favor, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into the tweet that set this whole thing off. Twitter has been on my channel a lot lately, or X rather. Now, this thing says, Twitter grape. 3 years ago, on my birthday, this F-tard, Temiloluwa Olufemi, harmed me. For 3 years, I have experienced the worst mental breakdown, crash out, delusions, please name it. This her post here gathered 22 million views. This post made by this woman calling out this dude for the actions he did on her gathered 22 million views. So guys, we're not talking about a joke here. We are not talking about a joke here. So now she has called him out on this allegation, which is a very crazy one and a scary one at that. And the funny thing is, we apparently have a video of this guy from 3 years ago confessing to the act or saying what happened. See him here.
Yes or no?
Yes, I tried to.
Before you
Did
you try to fuck her? Yes or no?
Yes, I tried to.
Before you try to finger her, yes or no?
Before I tried to finger.
You tried. Wait. When you found out she was a virgin, what did you
Before you try to finger her, yes or no? Wait.
So this is him being interrogated by the dudes. We're going to see how we ended up at this place. Because guess what, guys? Guess what? This dude that has been accused of this is actually on Twitter. This is the guy right here, Temiloluwa. This is him now, and the event took place 3 years ago. He's actually on Twitter to come and clear his name. So ladies, I'm going to say, Mr. Sly, I know you a lot. You come and say we've not heard from the man. We are going to hear from the man. I'm going to be reading it. It's quite a long one, so bear with me. But he says, so someone brought my attention to this tweet of this girl making false accusations against me. I'm here to set the record straight on what happened 3 years ago. Heads up, this story is a bit long because I have to start from the beginning. Let's look at the story. Yes, I studied in Cyprus from 2016 to 2023. From 2020 to 2023, I stayed at an apartment. It was a 2-bedroom apartment which I stayed with my guy. I met Moloja around June 2021. She had moved to the same apartment, but he was not sure of the month. Now, the lady in question just moved to his apartment with him. Guys, I tell you, your neighbors are off limits. Let's go on. Moloja, her older brother and sister all stayed in the same apartment. Around July, Mojola and I started to like each other. Even my friends, her siblings, started to notice it. We had a conversation on whether to be in a relationship, but we did see eye to eye on certain things, so we chose to remain friends. Fast forward to October 2021, she has already been showing me signs of anger issues and attitude when things don't go her way. Basically, any small thing she could just defess. I now started to avoid her. Listen guys, at this point, it's too late already. I'm sorry. It is too late. At this point, fast forward to her birthday, December 13, her brother invited me to the party at the apartment. When I got there, I had some drinks, alcohol. I was chilling. I saw Mojola there, but she did not look at me. Later on, I got very hungry, so I tried to go back to my own apartment to eat. While I was microwaving my food, Mojola entered my apartment with a housemate. I did not look at her. I went to my room. I came out to check my food and I saw a random guy in my apartment with her. In my living room, she was seated on his lap comfortably. I just assumed that was her boyfriend. I still left it alone even though I wanted both of them to get out. Now, this is where everything went down. Before we get into the main crux of the matter, I'm going to say this. If you have a problem with a girl, you have to understand this. She's going to try every medium possible to get you to be jealous. Now, what you do when you get jealous is going to determine a lot. This guy eventually left my apartment, so it was just me and Mojola alone. As I was serving my food, Mojola came to me to ask me why didn't I wish her happy birthday. I told her I was thinking about a lot of things. She then asked me, "Do you want to kiss me?" I looked at her, confused by her question, because I just saw you sitting on another guy's lap some minutes ago. She then asked me the same question again and decided to kiss me forcefully on her own. This lasted for like 10 minutes. A few minutes later, she had her tongues down my throat again and we both went to my room. Take note, guys, this guy has put out this explanation here and the lady has in no medium whatsoever refuted what he said. Let's go on. She started to take her top off. She pushed me to the bed, taking her top off, her trousers, her underwear. At first, I tried to insert myself into her, but she told me to stop and I stopped immediately. Listen, you shouldn't have even started this thing with your neighbor in the first place. So then she told me to use my fingers instead. What's going on here? Clearly, she gave me consent too. Baba don't put you for inside. While all of this was going on, people from the birthday party had been knocking on the door since. I ignored it cause my housemate was with them and I thought they could just ask him for key if they wanted to come in. About 20 to 30 minutes later, people were seriously banging on the door. So I decided to go and open the door, but I told Mojola, but Mojola kept telling me that I should not bother. I had to literally push her away and go and answer the door. I told her to get dressed and hide in the bathroom so nobody would know we did anything. As I opened the door, her sister came in and asked for Mojola. I told her Mojola is in the bathroom. She went to check on her and they both left. The next day, her brother and sister called me to their apartment to question me because they believe something went down between I and Mojola. I kept on denying it because I didn't know what Mojola had told them. Out of nowhere, this Mojola girl was now saying that I, Temilokon, raped her. You're finished, brother. You're finished, man. And obviously I denied because it was not true. She was the one that literally threw herself at me and I didn't touch her without consent. I wanted to involve the police on the matter, but Mojola's brother didn't want to because he and Mojola were not having a resident permit done. So remember, they stay in Cyprus. Fast forward some days later, her brother called me to his apartment saying he wants to see me. I get there. I meet at least 12 ninjas, all Mojola's friends, already there waiting to beat his ass up. They were questioning me throughout the night, but they just did not like my answers, which were all true. They decided to beat me irregardless. Punched, slapped, hit in the face with different objects they could find. Luckily for me, I had a few friends that believed my story over hers, because clearly it was not adding up. Let's be honest, guys, this story wasn't actually adding up if we think about it. Okay, now this girl was first of all sitting on the lap of a guy. We have to call that guy to come and explain who he actually is. 1. 2, the girl is with him, throwing tongues out, landing in the bedroom, coming out and saying, "I'm going to teach you a lesson." And we all know why this is happening. Simply because he tried to distance himself from her. I left the apartment with bruises on my face and head and arms. This girl defamed my name while I was in Cyprus. I had to endure all sorts of abuse from people face to face and online because of her false accusations and trying not to prove to her siblings that she's not for the streets. Me, I can't keep taking responsibility of something I didn't do. My friends have advised me to try and deactivate my Twitter so they won't attack me online. But me, I fear no person. I know I'm innocent and I will stand up to speak the truth. I know the girl is trying to be a wannabe influencer for clout, but it will backfire on her generations. You can't make it in life if you have this type of mentality. Wannabe influencers but don't want to pay for X premium. Better go back to the streets. I see you try to end the story on a funny note, but I tell you guys something. I say we have the game called PIB, Public Intervention Brigade. What this guy just said here, he said he believes she's bringing this story up now so the public can come in and make her a popular figure. Public Intervention Brigade. But what I'm saying is this. He has given us his story. The girl did not refute his story, or she just said he's a dat. And he said this is what actually happened, and she did not deny it. So now I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, can we really call this rape? Can we really say something funny happened, or do we think the lady just laid that accusation on him just to destroy him for the fact that he started to avoid her? I'm going to say one thing before I go, a bit funny, but you see, the reason why I believe this girl started to get hooked on this dude is because I think he accessed the conference point actually. I think he did it and he did it very well. And when he said he didn't want to date anymore, she thought about him. Because let's look at the guy, let's be honest. Pause. He's a handsome guy. He's a good looking guy, got some muscles. So definitely, she must have thought about it that, I'm going to lose on all these fronts. No way. It's either I have you or no one else does. If you hear that statement from a girl, run far. But with that being said, it's a pity for what has happened to him. But like I always say, it is what it is. I'm out.